Okay, so let's get started. We're going to be taking a look in this training module using our HB Tuner's repository feature, as well as the compare feature found in our VCM editor software. Now, the repository feature is going to allow us to potentially download stock equivalent files or even tune files from other users that have uploaded it to the HB Tuner's repository on the website. So this is something you may or may not want to use. It's helpful if you can't locate a stock equivalent file. Now, I have provided in our training course folder stock equivalent files for a variety of different year vehicles in our Gen 3 applications, as well as Roush and Whipple files as well. So we have a ton of files compiled in our training course folder, so you may not even need to use the repository feature. But let's first learn how to use it in case you're searching for a particular file. Maybe I don't have one available in our course folder. You may need to use the repository. So let's go look. So first thing we're going to do is go to HB Tuner's website. So hbtuners.com, I have that open on my browser right here. Now you're next going to go in and sign into your account. I've already signed in. We can see my account is signed in up here. I'm going to go click on this and it's going to bring me to the dashboard for my account. Now here we find that we can go to the Tune repository. So if we click on this, it's going to allow us to go into this area here. Now this is going to allow us to search year, make, model, even engine, transmission, and sort by. It gives us some further things to sort by, or relevant search terms in here. It allows it to search the repository and find files that match. Again, this is going to be only used if you can't find a stock equivalent file, if you're looking for maybe a tune file as an example. I can tell you that 2018 plus Mustang and F-150s, there's really not a lot of files in the repository. So just be aware of that, but let's go through and take a look at this anyway. So we're going to go to the year. Let's just go, I'll search, let's say a 2019. So let's grab that year. Now we can actually see here, anything further than 2020 isn't even populated in here. So I haven't had the best luck with finding files in here. And that's why I had to go in and dig into all the stock reads that I've done personally, as well as contact other Ford tuners that I know. And I got them to send me stock read files as well to build it out for the course folder. But the repository sometimes is, if you're looking for an 18 to 20 file, so 2020, you might be able to find something in there. So let's go to our make. Let's go set this to Ford, and let's go to our model. Let's just put in M here, type in M for Mustang. Let's take a look. So we're not going to go in and fill in engine, transmission, or sort by. Let's just see what it's going to come up with or any specific search terms. Let's go to our search repository and see if it pulls up anything. Now, if it doesn't pull up anything, this is what's going to happen. It's going to load the same screen again. You're not going to find anything's present. Let's drop our year back to a 2018 and Ford Mustang. Let's do the search repository, see if we're going to find anything. And again, it doesn't find anything here. Let's actually change this from a Mustang, and let's type in F for F-Series. I don't think there's an F-150 specific. Yep, so we'll say F-Series, and let's do search repository, see if there's anything present. Now there is for the F-150s. So looking here, we can find 5-liter V8 automatic. We can see here showing stock. We can go in and download this. A couple other options in here. There's a 3.5 V6. Right here's a 5-liter V8. So this would be our Coyote. 2.7 V6 would probably be an EcoBoost. As even this 3.5 V6 could be an EcoBoost. So obviously this is a Coyote specific course. We would download one of these files for a 2018. So simple as that. It'll download it to your computer, into your download section. Then you can open up that file to use as a reference point, as a comparison. So the repository doesn't have a lot of files on here. Again, I'm going to forewarn you for that. But just be aware that this is an option to source stock equivalent files. So let's say you have an F-150 or a Mustang that's been tuned, and you want to see what the stock original values were in the file for various different tables. You can see, number one, what was changed by using the next feature, the comparison, the compare feature, and then you can actually copy and paste those in your file back to stock if you want to return it to stock to begin your calibrating and tuning process. So this is where we could potentially download some stock files. Let's actually go in here. Let's minimize this. I'm going to jump back in here to the VCM editor software. So now we're going to learn how to use the compare feature. Let's say we've grabbed a file from the repository, or we are going to take a look at a file that I provided in the training course folder. We can use this compare feature. So let's look at this real quick. So right now I have the stock virtual read HB Tuners file open for my vehicle, which is a 2022 Mustang Mach 1. Now this vehicle is all stock at this point. I haven't edited or calibrated anything on the vehicle. I can compare this Mach 1 file against a GT file and see what differences are present right from Ford. So sometimes that's useful. You might want to find, in this case, the differences in Mach 1 programming at the same model year to a GT. We can do that. Let's look at this real quick. We're going to go to compare and then open compare file. Now here's where we're going to jump into our training course folder, or again, if you want to use your repository file that you downloaded, you can do that, but I'm going to go into the training course folder. I'll go to desktop and I have my HPT Gen 3 Coyote folder. That's our course folder. And then we have our sample calibration files. Now in here, you can see I've tried to organize things as best as possible. They're going to be the year of the vehicle, what it's going to be. So here's an F-150 Whipple file, or if it's Mustang GT stock, if it's auto. I try to note that, manual, auto. I try to go in and get a decent amount of examples for our course. I'm probably going to have some more I add in here, but this is a decent list of stock equivalent files or Roush or Whipple files, which sometimes can be very hard to find. So I'm going to go in and compare this to...
Thanks for checking out our teaser clip. If you want to see the rest of this video and more than 500 hours of current EFI training we have to offer, make sure you click right here. If you want to go and check out more teaser clips from this training course, click here, and you don't want to miss any of the videos we're going to be releasing on this channel, so make sure you subscribe and click here. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys later.